Alex, it is great to see you again. The last time we spoke was about 3 months ago, and at the time you had made 40,000 from copywriting as a 15-year-old. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And how has everything progressed for you since then? Let's dive straight in.
So now I'm much closer to 85,000. So yeah, so I've progressed during the summer like nearly double, actually over doubled. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
85,000. That's 45,000 in 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's because you didn't have the distraction of high school, right?
No, I didn't have the distraction of high school.
Damn.
I've actually quit high school, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go
But
into that then. At what point did you quit? What did your parents think? What was the process like?
so my parents kind of agreed because high school kind of didn't provide me any value, and I was not really listening to all my teachers after I started making money. So so yeah, just quit at the beginning of the year, and yeah, so that's it.
Okay, beginning of the year, school year, you
I
mean?
mean,
So
school year, yeah.
it's been about a month that you've quit, right?
Yeah.
What was the process like? Were they fine with you quitting? What did they say? What questions did they ask?
They were kind of scared that I'm not going to like succeed, but yeah, I finally, showed them my bank balance kind of, and yeah, I think they finally understood
Mhm.
why I wanted to quit. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. What did your friends think? I'm guessing you spoke to them about quitting, right?
So my friends, always the closest ones, supported me. Obviously, we had this bunch of NPCs saying, "Oh no, you will ruin your life, everything." But yeah, generally, everyone supported me in that decision
Mhm.
because I believed it was right, and I still believe that, and they just supported me. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's great to hear. Now, what was the process for getting from 40,000 to 85,000? Did you acquire more clients? Did you charge existing clients more? What did you do?
So I've basically started developing my own network, and I started working within people inside of the network to just improve. First of all, because you already have built up relationship, and it's a warm lead, so it's easier to close. Plus, if you provide value, you just get much more opportunities. So this is why basically developing your network is really important, and I've started just making money with people from my network. Yeah, so it was more like revenue share deals.
Interesting.
So I was getting percentage of the results I bring in. So
Mhm.
yeah,
How many clients are you working with now? Are you comfortable revealing?
yeah. For at the moment, I'm working with 4 clients.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Is that on retainer or also on rev share?
small retainer plus rev share
Okay.
most, and one is only on monthly, so just revenue share.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you offer them? What kind of services? And if you're
So
comfortable, again, revealing what you charge for those services in terms of whether it's partly retainer or rev share, whatever.
yeah, so just generally, I do everything. I do Telegram posts, I do newsletters, I do websites, I do everything. Facebook ads, whatever you need me to do in terms of copywriting, I will do it. Just generally, I charge around 20% of revenue plus like additional very small retainer, like around $800. So yeah, that's it.
Mhm. Interesting. What was your biggest project that you worked on?
I think my biggest project that I've worked on was actually just after our last interview. I've made like 7,000 in one day just of revenue share because it was last month of the business because my client was retiring, and we've basically had a huge sale, and we've basically made 7,000 just of my revenue share in one day, which
Mhm.
was really cool. Yeah.
Damn, congratulations.
Thank you.
what what did it require for you to what work did you do for him which ended up reaching the 7,000 in one day?
So basically, I was since it was like last project with me. We basically set up the entire funnel, and just basically I was started selling like from his Telegram list, emails, and everything because it was last month of the business. So we had a huge sale, and it's like, again, I've basically done everything. So just to basically
Cool.
make product sell.
Fair,
So
fair, fair.
yeah.
Let's go on to how different is the average day now compared to 3 months ago? Any changes there?
So there is a huge lot of changes. I'm actually meeting with a lot of people now that are like millionaires every day, pretty much. I've actually got invited to like a huge meeting in Dubai at early November, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's just basically at the moment what I will be doing is traveling and meeting new people, and yeah, just living in Warsaw is great because you have so much people here already, high net worth individuals, but also high value individuals.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Huge. At 15 years old, surrounded by people like that. That's great to hear. Any more in terms of lifestyle changes? Since 85,000 is quite a significant amount of money. Uh, are you just purely spending it on networking with people, or has anything else changed?
So since I'm 15, I cannot buy a car. I cannot buy a lot of things. So that's why, yeah, most of my money is just sitting there, not doing anything. But generally, like, my lifestyle has improved that much that I basically it's more about the people I surround myself with, other than just buying cars and stuff like that, because I cannot do that yet.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay. And that
the
still
biggest
has a huge payout in the long term, networking
yeah,
with them.
yeah, networking is a like long-term investment.
Exactly. What about physicality? Any changes there? Have you been going gym, or
Yeah,
have you just been focusing on work?
I don't know if you remember our first interview, but I was basically like, fat and everything. I've dropped like 15% of body fat just from the first interview we had to now. So yeah, I'm still continuing this journey. Obviously, I still have some percent to lose,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Okay, that's again very awesome to hear. Congratulations on that progress. This is something I found out a few days ago. You stepped down as captain in copywriting campus. How come? What was the reason for that?
So Professor Andrew, basically, we had a call with each other, and he basically decided that I've outgrown the current captain program in the copywriting campus. So I'm on an entirely different level than current captains. So I need to at the moment just put my head down and just work, and because the rules of the game are different on my level than it's on theirs. So this is why Andrew asked me if I want to step down as a captain and just continuing working to pursue the new level. So yeah,
Interesting. Okay, very interesting dynamic. But at least, yeah, it's on good terms. Everything's good in terms of that.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
cool.
It's
Good. Good. Good.
actually kind of cool because like if a professor says that I've outgrown the current
Mhm.
captains, it's like I was shocked to hear that, but at least like really happy because finally my work is just paying
Yeah, yeah.
off. So yeah,
Good. So there is a kind of graduation system within the copywriting campus. Then you can, in a
yes,
way, you have graduated it, right?
yes.
Right. Awesome. And are you planning on purely sticking to copywriting, or do you have other ideas for business models to do in future?
No, just copywriting.
Just copy.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Specialize for.
Yeah, I believe that for example, I answer a lot of questions during the day, and I know that people ask me a lot, like for example, oh, should I do this and this, like two different skills? But what I recommend is sticking to one skill because you will be average at two skills if you focus at the beginning on two, while you cannot master just two at once because
Mhm.
it will take you a lot of time. So yeah, I would recommend just mastering one skill and then monetizing it.
Makes sense. And how do you continue advancing in copywriting? What kind of things are you doing? How are you reflecting on your work and just progressing?
At the moment, so I believe it's going to be pretty exciting end of the year for me because I think I'll finally hire like my first 10 employees at 15, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I will hire my employees and everything and basically set up a mechanism and set up a bunch of those mechanisms. And yeah, this will be really exciting journey. Really, really, really risky in my opinion, but this is what you need to do. Take risk.
Right. That was a good answer. Not actually what I intended, but that's completely fine. So I'll rephrase. For you personally, how do you continue improving in the skill of copywriting? Considering
Oh,
the
that's
level you're at, then yeah, what kind of things are you doing to improve in that sense?
so what I'm going to say is I'm not the best copywriter. That's for sure. I know people that have much better writing skill, but you know it's more about how you actually approach for example, potential client and everything, and that was actually is important to succeed in this game. So at the moment, what I'm going to do is just improve my writing again until I reach the very very good level, since I don't believe I'm at this very very good level of writing yet. um and just increase the results I provide for my clients. That's it.
Mhm. What does your average day look like?
What's my average day look like? To be honest, since I don't have school, I don't need to really wake up at any given time, so I just sleep 7 hours a day. Purely, I go to the gym in the morning, come sit at the steakhouse, it's literally in the same building as my gym, just work there, go back home, meet some people, then go back home again, work. That's it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just working lifestyle.
Yeah. What would you say to people who call that excessive at 15 years old, walking and focusing that much on work instead of doing what other people you're
So
actually doing?
So one of my mentors, basically from my network once said is basically you need to work at least 10 years of your life for freedom, to be free for like the next 60 years. But people work 50 or 40 years for 10 years of freedom. So in my opinion, I prefer working 10 years just for 50 years of freedom than working 50 years for 10 years of freedom.
Very true. So that's in the excessive aspect. What about, it seems you have quite uh, like a scheduled routine, a routine you follow. So in that way, what would you say to people who call that boring, following a routine every single day like that?
I don't really have a routine. I just work whenever I want. To be honest, it's not really strict because I have like a lot of fun because I'm meeting new people every day. I'm having fun actually, and yeah, it's like people call that boring, but at the same time, look at their lifestyle. They're going to school for 8 hours or whatever, coming back, and just generally the day is over.
Mhm.
And I like in my opinion my lifestyle is much more interesting than probably lives of 10 people at my age. So
Mhm. Now, here's a question I haven't asked anyone else really. Who would you say has had the most impact on your life? But in terms of, it could be multiple people, it doesn't have to be one. So when you think about people who had the most impact, who would you name and why?
that's a very good question, Rokas. I'm obviously my parents, that's obvious, but generally I think Andrew Bass, the professor of the copywriting campus. Yeah.
For what reason? I'd like you to go a bit more into depth into that.
So, so generally, it's hard to kind of explain because he literally helped me with everything. Like, I know him like in a personal way for 7 months, but he literally made me walk through this path. Without him, I wouldn't be, I believe, sitting here with you and having another interview. Um, so, so yeah, he's literally like a person who taught me all of this and actually, just progress my life. He's my mentor. He's my person who actually helped me succeed. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love to hear that. Oh,
Mm.
here's another question. When you think back to the beginning of your journey, I'm guessing there have been some distinct stages through the copywriting journey of maybe you failing or doubting yourself. Then when things progressed, maybe a major turning point. Could you break down those moments again from the beginning of your journey, which stand out?
So I've never actually had the doubt after I've made my first money, because after I've made my first money, what I've literally told myself, okay, this is my life now. So, but generally there are some stages, and like those are not really. I prefer to call them levels,
Mhm.
because at some level you won't be able to progress more by yourself. You will need other people to help you with that.
Mhm.
So I've entered that stage around 2 3 weeks ago, and I've realized that I actually need more people to progress. But I don't think I ever doubted myself in any way, because as a 15-year-old, I don't have that much responsibilities. I don't need to support my family in any way. I mean, like legally or whatever. I don't have kids. I don't have liabilities. I don't have a house on mortgage or whatever. So I think I should take more risks anyway.
Mhm.
So I didn't doubt myself, because at the end of the day, worst case scenario, I'll just go back to school and finish university. So
That's fair.
obviously, I'm not going to do that now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
of course.
yeah.
But I do still want to hear some more about those levels. So just to give you another prompt, let's say this would be random. You, as soon as you started copywriting, you just started making maybe landing pages or just email marketing, and you outreach to people offering those services. Then you found out, maybe I can do this for them as well. So you're starting doing that. I just want to hit the progression there, and how you leveled up with each level. Could you break that down?
Oh, so actually, yeah, okay, I understand now. So for example, for at the beginning, I was only limiting myself to emails, newsletters, stuff like that. My first clients, I only needed to do him one email sequence. But then after I started landing more clients, my second client, for example, required a Facebook ads. So I needed to improve upon Facebook ads. And at some point, I've realized I have three clients that really want three different things. So I needed to just basically focus on everything at once. And at some point, after I reach those higher end clients, they just want everything. So yeah. So this is why I needed to. I'm basically offering everything, because they just want everything. That's
Okay,
that's that's the fact. Yeah.
fair. And it's probably quite rare to find someone who can do everything. I know in bigger businesses, they get people for each sector because, again, you can't really find someone who's an all rounder and does everything well. I'm sure that's been an advantage to you as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Now, what would you say is the biggest challenge you either faced in the past 3 months or maybe that you're heading into?
So that's a very good question. So my biggest challenge was family issues, actually. So I've quit school now, but literally at the end of the school year, they've decided to kick me out from school. Matrix attacked me, and it will. I don't think I can disclose the reasons, but Basically, they decided to kick me out, but later on they brought me back after an appeal written. But that was a tough period because my kind of entire family was kind of angry at me and everything. But yeah, just worked through it and just decided to still, yeah, I decided to that nothing actually changes, and I'm
Mhm.
still continuing walking that path.
Interesting. Because again, at 15, family does have a quite big effect in a way on your life. It's only later that you can really start either distancing yourself from them if they're toxic, or just they don't have as much impact because maybe you're living on the other side of the world. But yeah, again, I
Yep.
understand at 15, completely makes sense that it could be impacting you.
Yes.
Interesting. So since you're on this trajectory, where do you see everything to continue scaling? I phrased that wrong. Where do you see everything continuing to scale in the short term, medium term, and long term?
It's a good question. Can I give you just the long term?
Okay, sure.
So this is what I want our next interview look like. Probably around, I don't know, maybe in a few months, maybe in a year, whatever. 1 million,
Hmm.
$1 million made at 16 then,
Hmm.
but that's my goal for the next year. I definitely want to continue improving my personal branding. It's really important for me to grow my personal brand at the moment. Um, and that's it. I will just continue doing the same things because, like, I am not fully improved yet. I am just walking that path still. Still going to the gym, still self improving mentally, stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I can only give you my financial prediction, and, like, like numbers. But
Hmm.
yeah, that wouldn't be too honest. So yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. And considering you're planning on starting a business, getting employees, I'm sure that can scale very well for you. So it's completely feasible to have that goal. Good.
Yep.
Now, on a side note, how's the interview with Tristan? How was the experience there?
Really good, really good. I mean, like, I've never met a person who's so good at conversations, like in general. Like, you could throw a topic at him, he already has an opinion about this topic, already done his research, and like, yes, he's just a great person to talk with. And like, it was like, to be honest, a dream come true.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was super fun. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's awesome. And any more to add on what kind of impact the tastes have had on you and on your life?
They've changed my life. It's like, that's it. To be honest, 180 degrees change. Yeah, I was basically, before I joined the real world, I was vaping and stuff. It was like, yeah, I was really falling downhill. So yeah, that taste actually brought me back up. So yeah.
Mhm. Good. Again, great to hear. And I believe that wraps up the interview. We've covered most things, right? Is there any more you have to say about any topic?
Yeah, just appreciate the interview, Marcus.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'll end off with a final question. Pretty sure I asked you before as well this question, but I want to see if maybe you'll have a different answer, or feel free to say the same. So, for people who are unsure about joining the real world, because maybe you're a paid actor, maybe it's a scam, what advice would you have to them?
Yeah, it's just, in my opinion, it's like risk management. The real world is a subscription type, payment, which means it's actually much more trustworthy. Since if this were, I would actually think myself if that would be a scam if it was only one-time payment. But if it's a subscription time fee, literally the real world makes money of people's trust plus results because people see results, and this is why they keep staying in the real world.
Mhm.
So yeah, in my opinion, it's like you should take those risks. $50 is really not that much in the current year, in the current world we live in, $50 could be spent on a dinner, for example. So yeah.
Easily. Cool. Thank you, Alex. For people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Alex the Marshall on all platforms.
Got it. Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll add that to the description of the video. Anyone interested, check that. But don't go asking him dumb questions like, is the
Yeah,
real world a
please.
scam? Does this work? What should I do? Should I do copywriting? I'm sure he won't be able to give you a proper answer. If you do have questions, make sure they're well thought out questions if you want to reply, right?
Yep, exactly.
All right. Alex, great catch up. Man, you're doing so well. Again,
Thank you.
15 years old. That's amazing to hear. I love hearing progress like yours. And I look forward to that interview when you reach 1 million total earned. That would be awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All the best.